Man, what's up, YouTube family? It's your boy Koozie back at you with another hot TikTok reaction video. Man, I know y'all see what's been happening in South Korea, man. They didn't declare martial law on the people. Man, what's really going on over there? Any explanation? Anybody got some answers? Let me know down below, man. It's getting wild out here, man. And when I say wild, I mean wild. Whoo, I sure hope they don't come over here no time soon with that bull coin. Yeah, with that said, man, y'all, how y'all doing? I hope you're having a good week so far. Let's get right to the content.
A guy on Twitter just revealed software that can take an Instagram photo and use AI to search open cameras in a location to see if they can find the video of you taking the photo on that day. So the guy who created Die With Me, which is that chat app you can only use when you have less than 5% battery, just unveiled this software where you give it like the Instagram photo on the left, and on the right you see this AI searching through a bunch of open cameras all around the world to see if they can find the people in the photo with the proper location and give you the video of the photo actually being taken. I personally think this is brilliant. This must have been so hard to put together. The effect is fantastic, and it's a great way to remind people that you are constantly being watched and so much more of your information is out there than you think. Also, it's way easier to find your location at all times than you think. Check out his Twitter. He's got a YouTube video on it if you want to learn more about it. He also has a way to support his page. But yeah, I think this is dope and terrifying.
Man, we don't need that over here.
Singers, when they sing songs, it's like a mantra. When you repeat a chorus over and over and over. So when a kid hears a song and he starts singing that chorus over and over and over, then you start to hear it in the alpha state into the subconscious mind. So you start to become the song or become what you're saying.
That's a fact.
Like I'm telling y'all, bro, we live in a dome. Cause look, that's the rainbow right there. And look, that's the reflection of the rainbow behind it. You see it? That's the reflection of the rainbow behind it. You feel me? You need some kind of glass to have a reflection, right? Some kind of like, you know, we're in a dome, I'm telling you.
Have you heard the moon doesn't exist theory? This theory suggests that the moon is not a natural celestial body, but a hologram or an artificial construct placed in the sky by unknown forces, whether aliens, advanced civilizations, or even the government. Proponents argue that the moon's perfect size and distance, which cause solar eclipses, are too coincidental to be natural. Some claim it's a projection hiding a secret space base, or serving as a distraction to keep humanity from noticing the truth about the universe. Despite overwhelming scientific evidence that the moon is real, this theory continues to capture imaginations and spark heated debates in conspiracy circles.
That's great. The turtle froze.
Holy cow, there's a lot of turtles over here.
Guess they don't need no oxygen.
How deep is it right here?
Man, y'all know what else I forgot to mention, man. Today is December 3rd. And guess what? We ain't seen no type of UFO versus the human, you know what I'm saying? The humans battling in the sky. You know, they said it was supposed to be some type of battle between UFOs and the people today, right? I ain't seen nothing in the sky, but you know what? They did say in space, I guess, huh? So I guess they meant under the water, under the ocean. I don't know, man. I don't know, but I ain't gonna just say that was true though, that you know that was gonna really happen. But obviously it's not, huh? Because we didn't see nothing, or better yet, we haven't heard anything yet. Maybe we'll hear something in the next few days. Somebody gonna leak something if it actually happened. I know that. And excuse me, I think it was supposed to be some type of alien disclosure or something today too. Haven't heard anything about that either.
Listen, sweetheart, you better dip. You worried about the wrong dip.
For real.
Your legs should be moving in the opposite direction. You got a spirit behind you, girl. Go for it.
No cap. Now, who knew that? I never knew that, man. All my life, I've been opening them up Just that bottom part, you know what I'm saying? That main part. I did not know the top part come out. Not like that, man. I almost thought it was a lotion dispenser of some sort or something.
It's December 3rd, y'all. It's December 3rd. We got a few hours before nightfall. You're gonna know when you see Boyd walking down each block ringing that bell. When you hear that bell, get inside that door, lock your doors and hang your talisman. Because you know that tonight there's going to be a big-ass UFO war. UAP. And them things is going to jump out of these spacecrafts or whatever they are, and they're going to run these streets rampant. Rampant. There's not going to be no saving anybody that's out on the block. No hustling tonight. No nothing. No nothing. Stay home. Stay home, lock all your windows, lock all your doors, hang your talisman, say your prayers. The second you hear Boyd ring that bell, you know what time it is. I'm letting you guys know right now, that's what I'm doing. I hope everybody's safe. It's December 3rd. It's December 3rd, y'all. It's December 3rd.
If the aliens are in the ocean, why in the fuck would we be looking in the skies for a UFO fight? Make that shit make sense, somebody. It's December 3rd, and everyone was talking about the UFO stuff going on. Nothing can happen in the sky if they said that the aliens are in the water. I think we're looking in the wrong place, people. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but the sky, ocean, two different places. Sort of. And I know we've all heard that outer space is really in the ocean, and that's how you kind of get through this place and out of this place, but not sure how much validity is to that. But I do know this. If they said that the aliens are in the ocean, we have no reason to be looking in the sky for UFO battles. That should be on the water. But hey, sometimes shit make a little too much sense for some people.
Yeah, he may be right.
Just took a turn for the weird. I'm out here on the desert, and as you guys know, I made that video yesterday about the weird booms we've been hearing. Today, I'm driving around out here on the desert, just barely. You know, the guy left just 5 minutes ago. I'm out here on the desert, and this guy pulls up next to me while I'm stopped and starts talking to me. And I notice he's driving one of the, I'm wearing a wiener dog, driving one of the pickups I saw in the camp last summer. And I mentioned the camp in the last video. What was weird about the pickups is they were all the same make and model. The camp trailers, all the same make and model. They had some stuff under a tarp. The four-wheelers all looked exactly the same. And they had Idaho tags, which is normal, I guess. But a couple of big things that stood out. One, he was driving this obscure vehicle, and in Idaho, our tags have our county on them first. So, like, everybody in my county has 4B tags. So it goes 4B space, and then, you know, some other numbers or letters or whatever. And so you can tell what county people are from. He didn't have that, and their tags were all the same, except like one off or a couple digits off kind of a thing, all real close. He had those. Another thing is he said he was born and raised here in, you know, the big town just down the road, and he had an accent that was not from here. He sounded like he was from the Northeast. You know, how they kind of clip their words a little too much. He sounded like that. So he had an accent not from here, born and raised here, lived here his whole life. And I'm not buying it. And then the weirdest thing was when he left, he said, "All right, talk to you later, Brian." And I never told him my name. So I don't know what's going on.
Who else heard about the booms and the boom stories and stuff going on in California, Idaho? Y'all do me a favor. Go to his profile on TikTok. Y'all see that's his username on TikTok. Okay, you'll see that video, and you should see two other videos. There's one before that video, It's that video, and it's another video where he got like a brick wall, a cinder block wall behind him, and he's talking. And a lot of people in the comment section say that it looks like that he's being held hostage and forced to read off of some type of script, and basically like say that the stuff that he was saying in the previous video before that one, and the one before this one and that one, that this stuff is not kind of like, you know, just playing, basically saying that somebody scared him into telling them that it was not true what he was saying and stuff. But y'all go check it out and get back with me in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Do you think he's being coerced or not? Because it seems like in one of the videos, like somebody else is walking around in the background, which could be his wife or children or something like that. But you never know in this day and age.
What if I told you there's a private AI tech company secretly replacing people with AI clones so lifelike that no one even realizes their loved ones are gone? A highly secretive AI company called VoxSynth has developed technology that can replicate someone's voice, mannerisms, and even personality with chilling accuracy. They aren't just making voice assistants or deep fakes. This company is abducting real people, using them as templates to create AI versions of them that seamlessly take over their lives, leaving family, friends, and colleagues completely unaware. VoxSynth targets individuals who live alone, who have minimal social connections, or travel often, people whose disappearance could be quietly covered up. Once someone is taken, the company's AI engineers create an AI clone that replicates the person's voice and personality so well that it can hold phone conversations and send texts to family and friends without raising suspicion. The AI persona tells everyone that they're simply relocating for a new job or traveling somewhere remote, and ensuring no one questions their absence.
Man, that's creepy. I ain't gonna lie, kind of remind you of the Terminator in a way. And I'm talking about the new Terminators. The newest ones made out that liquid metal, or the last one, was it Terminator? What was it? Terminator with the John Connor was made out those, like out that nanobite type technology. Man, that's some scary stuff. I ain't gonna lie. Not scary to be scared of, but I'm saying like it's some crazy stuff. Basically, you know, like it's wild.
So after I slept on it, I thought maybe that I would feel a little more at ease, a little bit less nervous and afraid of what this means, but I don't. If anything, I feel more nervous. So we know that in the days before the flood, people were sinning and just going crazy. It was all evil. And we know that before God had Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed, it was just completely evil. The AI Jesus that we are seeing from Switzerland, that has bothered me like nothing else. I have a few verses here that's just in its stockpiles, and with every one I read, it makes me more and more convinced that we're right here on the cusp, that God has got his hand on the final day door. Okay, we got Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked, for you reap whatever you sow. That is a huge mockery of God. It's blasphemy. It's mockery. And God plainly says it here. Our way of life will have its natural consequences. If we sow to the flesh, led by self-seeking desires, we will reap the only thing the flesh can produce, and that's corruption. That's what that means. When we just give in to our own desires, which is what we're doing with creating an artificial smart, a fake smart Jesus to handle confessions in a Catholic church. I mean, I'm not Catholic. I never have been. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying anything like that. But I'm saying, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Most important commandment, I believe. And what is that? We are putting in a substitute where God should be. Does that not make you cringe all over? That is humans trying. I don't care if it is just an image. I don't care if it is not a real physical thing that they're trying to do. They are trying to create Jesus. And if that doesn't scare you, or okay, not scare. I'm not trying to scare anybody, because I know I'll get a lot of flack from that. That should open your eyes big time to what is going on. Okay? How long has it been since God destroyed the world with the flood? How long has it been since Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed for evil? It's been a long time, hasn't it? Almost like you better watch out because it could come back around. You know what I mean? This is the most evil the world has ever been. And whenever people made golden images to worship in the Bible, when you go to a fake smart image and you spill out your confessions thinking that that is going to give you forgiveness, this scares me. Okay, I'm not trying to scare you, but it scares me. We better open our eyes. Christians, I know I say it all the time, we better be hitting the floor running trying to get people to Jesus. Because in my mind, I don't remember ever seeing it in the Bible. If it is, please let me know. I want to know. I'm being serious. I don't remember seeing in the Bible where they tried to create Jesus. And even if it is an image they're creating, it's still, they're trying to create Jesus. I want to keep saying that over and over on this video because you need to know the seriousness of this. It's not something to play with. It is not something that we can think light of. God will not be mocked. You reap what you sow. He has proven many times in the Bible, he has released his wrath in doses, okay? And this is a pretty big coverage of the world that this fake smart Jesus is covering. And not only that, it is a church, even if it's a Catholic church, but it's a church that is doing it. Guys, I'm telling you. Number one, we never know when our last breath will be. And I've said that before. I hope that registers with people that you could literally walk out of your house or you could stand up and that would be your last breath. Okay? You need to make your heart right with God. I promise you, it's all worth it. That's where you want to be. You want to be with God when all this is over with. You want to embrace God and go to heaven. You don't want to go to what's waiting on you if you don't choose God. But, if anybody has any more information on this fake smart Jesus, please let me know. I have looked some up, and I'm a very busy mama, and I work all the time. So if y'all could just let me know. If you know anything else about it, I am very interested in this. You can send me, links to stuff or whatever. But, yeah, I'm very disturbed. It's really disturbed me greatly because this could be what I thought I needed to pray for yesterday or the day before, whenever it was. It could be. Because something's right there on the horizon. Something's getting ready to happen, and we need to make sure we're right with God.
Hey, she definitely got a point, man. They did say technology will be mankind's downfall, and that's what it seemed like to me, too. It's getting crazy out here. I mean, it's already been wicked out here, but this is getting even more wicked. It's getting, pure evil out here. If that's not blasphemous, then I don't know what is. Let me know what you think about that down below in the comments.
If you have mixed kids and the father is black, what goes on their birth certificate? Now, for everyone that has mixed kids and their father is black, I need you to go look at your kids' birth certificates immediately and let me know what race do they credit your kids as being. I'll wait. My oldest son says his birth certificate says that he is Caucasian. Now, wouldn't that adjust the census somehow? How in the hell am I black and my son considered Caucasian on his birth certificate? Once again, if you have mixed children and the father is black, you might want to go and look at the birth certificate again.
That's crazy.
I'm just saying. I never paid attention to it up until now. And that shit's crazy. And for some of us, we already knew that their birth rate was in the negative. But if this is accurate, that would mean that the numbers that they are giving us, we're way more than 13% now, black people.
For real.
Because those that had mixed babies, those black men that had mixed babies, turned those babies black. They're not counting that on the census. I don't know who did it. I can't say the this would be an error with the hospital, all right? This is not the government. This would be an error with the hospital. The government can only count the numbers that were given to them. So I need y'all to hear this again. This would be an error from the hospital. And the government's just going to continue counting. Well, another Caucasian was born today, this birth certificate. African American was born today, this birth certificate. And that's what's going to the census. And if my son birth certificate says Caucasian, I'm sure there's a lot more that say Caucasian. I'm just saying.
That is crazy, man. If that ain't an agenda, I don't know what is. Now, I want to know, man, for all the people out here that have mixed children, I want to know your answers down below in the comment section. Go look at your kid's birth certificate if you have kids. Let me know what their ethnicity or race says on their birth certificates. Mine, personally, is black. But I would think that all of them would be black, especially with the one drop rule, you know, the ancient lore from history, you know, that we learn in history tells us that any drop of black blood, or, you know what I'm saying, they are considered black. The one drop rule. I know you heard of that before.
The Vector, NASA's official logo. If you've ever looked at NASA's official logo, both their official insignia and their official seal, you'll see that the most prominent object in the seal is a red swooshing object. They call that the chevron or the vector. If you ask NASA's public affairs office, this symbology is featured so heavily in their insignia and seal, they'll tell you that that is a representation of a hypersonic wing design from the 1950s, the time the logo was created. Not exactly the case. Someone might want to ask the Russian Federalists, and while you're at it, you can go ask the Chinese, who formed their space agency in 1996, why in the world they're using a hypersonic wing design from the 1950s as their official logo. Then you can ask the Japanese, the South Koreans, Taiwanese, Malaysia, Mexico, Iran, all of these countries, even Bulgaria. They all utilize the vector symbology in their space agency logos. In every logo dealing with the Mercury program, you'll see what looks like a number 7 in their logo. And again, NASA's official story is that they put this number 7 there so that they could pay homage to the original 7 Mercury astronauts, forgetting the fact that only 6 Mercury astronauts actually flew into space because number 7 never did. Deke Slayton had a heart problem, so he didn't get to go up. So there were only 6 Mercury astronauts. Yet there's a 7 in every single logo. That's in the official mission or official program insignia for Mercury, as well as the 6 individual mission patches carry this logo. And it carries on to the space shuttle program. The Apollo logo. The Apollo logo has a big letter A in it. At least that's what they want you to believe, but it's not. Again, that's just a simple way of explaining away the inclusion of this vector symbology in the logo. If you go to the space shuttle program, the original space shuttle STS program patch is a triangular patch that, again, hides the use of the chevronic vector symbology. Every single one of the International Space Station expedition patches carry the vector symbology. The Russian Mir space station used the vector symbology. That was their official logo. You can even go deeper and look at military-industrial complex companies. Look at the logo on a company like Lockheed Martin, 2 vectors. The X-Prize logo, Ames Research Labs, U.S. Space Command, when you get into the military realm, their official logo is the vector symbol. And when you look at the military's individual space-specific programs, all of them deal with vector symbology in their official insignias. And the question really becomes, who or what are these people paying homage to? And the truth, quite frankly, is out of this world.
Fusion in the sun, that's well understood. It's only in the flares that you get fusion. There's no fusion in the sun. They don't know how the sun works. It's a transformer. Transforms from some other dimension. It's not burning anything. It doesn't have to. It's a converter. I don't know. Nobody knows. But that's what it does. That's the only thing it can do, because that's how everything works. It's taking energy from another dimension, counter space. There's no energy, actually. You can't see the sun in free space.
So the sun is not visible in outer
It's not in free space. Well, when gross matter becomes involved, like the Earth's atmosphere and envelope and the surface of the moon, otherwise there is no light. You can see the moon, you can see the Earth, but you can't see the sun or you can't see the stars. You can see material objects, but you cannot see the sources of light. There is no light until there's a material object. It doesn't take light years. There are no light years because there's no light. So that means that the light you see from the distant stars isn't 4 million years old. Could be instantaneous. All the theories collapse when you can't see the stars in outer space.
Man, they did say symbolism will be their downfall.
Why is no one talking about how there was a giant Switzerland-sized hole discovered in Antarctica and scientists were told not to fly over it or bother it? I mean, this hole was absolutely massive, and it makes me believe what Admiral Byrd said about Antarctica being a place to go to get into a whole world inside the ice.
They told us that we are never, ever to fly over that hole, and we are never to discuss it again. What's that about? And does that have anything to do with all these other pieces that keep emerging? That there might be something archaeological.
I could never get over Admiral Byrd's stories about Antarctica, and I think he was 100% correct with his hypothesis, and I think his journal was actually true, despite what they try to tell us. In Admiral Byrd's secret diary, he was obsessed with the North Pole, and his findings were that of something you wouldn't expect from such an esteemed general. He had multiple expeditions, but his final one to the pole was in 1927, and it was explosive. Now, in these books, he alleged some of the craziest information, that he went into a hole in these Antarctic sheets and emerged a whole entire world. This is the actual book where he literally said that he went through a portal-type hole in the Antarctic ice. Now, here we are in 2024, and they're saying that these holes are real and they have names. Till this day, it is extremely hard to get clearance because there is no access to Antarctica if you're not higher up. I know what's in those ice sheets, and I might just say it's a base of some sort.
Y'all think that has something to do with the AI Jesus, the fake Jesus thing they trying to make, man? They find out a whole bunch of stuff going on, though. They found a massive hole in Switzerland, they said. No, that wasn't Switzerland, Antarctica, but it has something to do with Switzerland. Man, you got to put these puzzle pieces together because it's not just something going on over here, something going on over there. A lot of times, a lot of this stuff be connected, man. It's up for us, you know what I'm saying, to put these pieces together and make a complete puzzle and make it all make sense. And I think, man, they know what's really going on. That hole over there, they say the master, that might be Satan, you know what I'm saying? And he convincing them to make a fake Jesus, you know, commit blasphemy and try to tell people that this is right, that's not right, and tell you you're going to get forgave for your sins and everything. And that's not the real Jesus, man. You're not going to, man, they just trying to mask who he really is so they could trick a bunch of people to going down there with him. And people, you don't want to go with him. I'm telling you. You don't, and I'm telling you, you don't want to, welcome yourself to what's going on, what's waiting for you down there, for sure. I'm telling you that.
Y'all, look at this right here. Project BB is going to be absolutely insane in 2025. 2025 just makes sense. I'll show you something in a minute. Just makes sense. Doesn't have all the UAP, all the stuff going on in the sky every single day, all over the place? It makes sense, right? And you'll see in a minute that this is not just, a screen or anything. This is quite literally a projection. Whatever they have now, they are over 100 years past that. They had this technology right here in the 40s, you guys. I mean, it's going to be absolutely wild. By the way, these projectors are being used right now in the public and people have no idea. The video is completely unrelated, because there's no way, right? And don't forget, 2025 literally starts off with WTF. Can y'all feel the demons coming? I mean, it's in the air. You can feel the energy. They are coming.
That right there was an example of 7D holographic technology. You've been watching my videos for a while. You've been seeing examples of that for a while and what they have planned for that. And, you know, what he just said, Project BB, it's all going to roll together. Do you think these UFO sightings that we've been allegedly seeing lately are 7D holographic technology? Or do you think it's real interactions with, you know, these UFOs, UAPs, whatever they want to call it?
A girl named Destiny emailed me her spooky story time about joining the Freemasons and her initiation. And her name has been changed. She's anonymous. She said she chose to be anonymous because she's worried about them finding her and finding out that she spoke on the subject. She's also sharing this story as a warning if you are thinking about joining the Mason. She said absolutely do not join. She also warned me about sharing this story and said it was okay if I don't want to because the Freemasons don't like it when they're spoken badly about. That said, I would like to thank Beyonce and I'm going to share the story anyway. Destiny has always known that she's had Freemasonry in her ancestral line. She is in New Zealand. In New Zealand, they allow women to join the Freemasons. In the US and other countries, it's called the Eastern Stars. Freemasons have an extremely rigorous vetting process where they want to know if you're right for the organization and if they are right for you. That said, she contacts them. She gets in contact with a women's only lodge. The lodge is about 7 hours from where she lives in New Zealand. And in the 8 months leading up to when she visited the lodge, they were asking her all kinds of questions about her worldview, her beliefs. And she says in retrospect, what she thinks they do to entice people to join is parrot their worldview. So she would say, oh, I'm all about love and light. And they would say, we're all about love and light. She said, although she's not religious, she does believe in Jesus and a God or a creator. And she told them this, they mimicked it back. And she said that one of the tenets of joining is that you have to believe in a power above yourself. She said when she was initially going through this vetting process, she didn't realize they were using this mimic or parroting technique on her. And she genuinely thought it was a good fit. So when they invited her to visit the lodge, she got in the car without question and drove 7 hours away to visit. She says when she got there, she met with a junior and senior member and they led her through the building into a kitchen. The building was unremarkable. It was old. It hadn't been updated in years. And there was really nothing special about the building itself. The walls were lined with group photos and pictures of famous Masons, as well as the acknowledgement of rights. She said all Freemason lodges have acknowledgements of their individual rights. She also noticed in various places the seal of Solomon, which she says she knows the lore of Solomon and he was given the power to command demons. I Googled it. This is what it looks like. Her, the junior member, and the senior member are talking in the kitchen for a little while. She brings up the seal of Solomon and they say, oh, most new initiates aren't as well read as you. She remembers the junior initiate saying, we've never had a new initiate do this before, and then she blacks out. She comes to and she realizes she's been in a trance for about an hour, and as she's looking at the two members, she sees them, but she's being spoken to by demons who have taken their form. She said that she realized that they realized that she could see the entities that were actually talking through these people to her, and the senior member leaves the room. She said she was struck with the overwhelming urge to tell the truth. It was like she couldn't lie. They asked her if she had any concerns, and she said she needed to know if her soul was safe. They were like, what do you mean by that? And she said, I need to know if this organization is in line with my morals. And they said, what do you mean by that? She brings up the fact that she saw entities speaking through these people as she's talking to them. And they say, yeah, when you join, you have an angelic being that attaches itself to you. And she says, well, what is your definition of angelic? They tell her that if she chooses to stay with them and go through the process, her angelic being will ultimately help her reach the highest level of consciousness and help her reincarnate not on this earth. She was also a musician at this point, and they promised to connect her with all kinds of well-connected people in her country to help further her career. They have her sign an oath, and she does, but she realizes that she's not going back, and she says that she thinks that they realized it too. When she gets into her car, she FaceTimes her mom, and her mom immediately says, what's wrong with your face? She says she could see her face in the camera and it seemed like her face was morphing. When she tried to talk about the experience to her mother, she said it was like there was a spiritual hand over her mouth preventing her from speaking. At this point, I feel like it's important to tell you guys, she told me this story in a voice memo that she emailed me, and after she told me this part, she went quiet and I could just hear her breathing. It was so strange. It was almost like she was struggling to get the words out. She said after that point, when she went back to her town, she started having all kinds of intrusive thoughts that she's never had before. One's telling her to unalive herself, and just very, very dark, depressing things that she never experienced before. So she knew she needed to get help. She went to a local healer. Local healer tells her that she has an entity that's attached itself to her. The healer does some kind of ritual, she didn't tell me what, to get the being to unattach. She goes to work the next day, but she's feeling completely sick. She gets up to go to the bathroom at one point, and as she's closing the door to the bathroom, she hears one of her coworkers scream. So she leaves the bathroom, she goes to her coworker's office, and her coworker is like just ghost white, and she says, what happened? And her coworker said, I just watched you walk past my door in the hallway, and I saw something follow you. She says in her line of work, it is completely unprofessional to talk about things like this, and she had never told her coworkers about what she went through at the lodge because she wasn't able to talk about it. So at that point, she knew that she needed more help. She felt like this thing was still attached to her. So she goes to a priest. The priest gives her a prayer. They say the prayer together. She goes to the bathroom afterward, and she said it was like she watched her face morph again in the bathroom of the church. Destiny also sent me all kinds of information about this prayer and Mason rituals and rites. She said that she wanted to share her story to A, warn people not to join, and B, if anybody needs help getting out, she said that she could be a potential resource for that, and I could forward her. To be honest, I don't really want to be the middleman, so if you want her to reach out to you, maybe just like leave a comment, and then I can let her know that that's how we're doing this. This is page 1 and 2 of the document of the prayer of release that she sent me, so you can read this and pause if you need to. But she said that she believes the Masons speak in opposites, so when they say light, they mean darkness, and they believe that Lucifer is the light bearer. She does say she feels much better now, and although she's not successful as a musician, she feels like she made the right decisions and has no regrets. Keep sending me your spooky scary stories. I'll keep adding them to this playlist, and there's polls on my Insta every day where you can vote on the next story.
Y'all never forget, man. If evil is real, so is God. Don't forget that.
It's getting weird, y'all. It's getting weird. I just watched a woman TikTok, and she was showing us an app where you can watch any camera in the world, and you can type in certain cities, states, and it'll show you cameras from people's homes without them being aware. It'll show you cameras from any street light. Basically, any camera device in your home can be tapped into, including the Wi-Fi boxes. I used to make videos about this back in the day. But somebody in the comment, I went to the comment section because I was a little freaked out. Even though I know this information, it just rubbed me in a weird way. Like, damn, people would really get on this website to look at somebody in their home, and this person can't do anything about it. But somebody in the comments was like, and that's how you know they don't take missing people seriously, or something along the lines of that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, in this day and age, bro, if a person is missing, bro, we gotta question who really got them, because they right. If I can get on a website and watch a lady feed her baby without her knowing, y'all can't use these superpowers to get these kids or get anybody that's been snatched up who can't be found? What if they're not supposed to be found because the person who took them is
crazy, man?
Someone asked me what the UFOs are doing up there in the sky. They're just hanging out and watching. Well, that's what they do. They're monitoring spirits. They watch people. But they are doing recon to see whose houses are guarded by angels and have been anointed, and those that aren't. They're marking homes. We told people to anoint their homes, and especially towards the end of the year where, you know, you kind of accumulated whatever it is, and you clean spiritual house, clean physical house, just get it clean. Okay, so, and then you do a fresh anointing over your home. They're preparing for war. They're preparing for the days of darkness. I suggest people...
Big facts, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I believe that one. I believe it. Let me know what you think down below. Man, y'all see me, man. I got my Dragon Ball Z, my Goku here going on today. Yeah, it's my crown. I call it my crown. Excuse me. It's my Goku. Who out there watch Dragon Ball Z? Let me know if you watch Dragon Ball or used to watch Dragon Ball Z growing up. Well, you know what Dragon Ball Z is. You know what I mean when I say that Goku here got a life of his own. You see, every time you see it, it's going to be different. It does what it want to do. Some will poke out some ways, some will lay down some ways, but hey, that's just how it is. You see what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Everything we're seeing was pre-planned. So this Time magazine cover of Mars was in December of 2022. But who is the mainstream person which is infatuated with going to Mars?
Man,
and the same one that claims to be right before the Great Flood. This video is about to get ridiculous. So we now have the portal opener saying that he is going to go to Mars within 2 years. But this race to Mars is actually predestinated. You're about to find out that one of the brains that created NASA knew Elon Musk way back when. This book right here was written in the 1950s by no other than Werner von Braun himself. But in this book, in the 50s, it says that the Elon would be the leader of Mars. They thought it was just an English translation, but no, it's also in German. Elon. Pretty strange name, don't you think? So let us continue. A couple days ago I made a video insinuating that Elon Musk may be a fallen angel. Yes, this behind me is all ancient cultures around the whole world, all depicting fallen angels, looking exactly the same. When someone randomly tells you they were here before the flood, believe them, because nobody can make such an outrageous lie up out of nowhere. And yes, we've gone over this, they're everywhere. And I do mean everywhere. The fallen angels and the men of renown being the Nephilim. But what else do all these parties have in common? They're all obsessed with watching stars, planets or wandering stars, and watching comets. And by the way, the Book of Enoch, whether you like it, read it, or don't, says that comets are actually demonic entities that had nothing to hold on to. So they fell. So we have NASA, NASA, we have Musk, SpaceX, we have the Vatican with the Lucifer telescope to see things in the sky. What things in the sky? And now we have UFOs, UAPs, aliens, all sorts of stuff appearing in the sky in every country, in every state, every single day. Right now of all times. So what's weird about that? Well, Aleister Crowley, the first person to see one of these things, was friends with Werner von Braun and all the creators of the shop. Google Braun's assistant. There is quite literally nothing new under the sun. By the way, my new YouTube video, The Sinister Secret of America, touches on this quite a bit. Beacon's link on my page, but it's not for the faint-hearted.
There's a secret government with its own Air Force, its own Navy, that's above the law and free from the law itself. The CIA director says, yeah, I know this is real. Why is it this level of secrecy? Who's keeping it secret? How are they doing this? How do I take on a group that have technologies that can do circles around the B-2 stealth? The worst treasonous acts that have ever happened to any country that falls is from within. The president, the director of the CIA, they had all been pushed aside and denied access. What's behind the secrecy? So let's say you have something that would fit on a little table this big, and it's pulling energy out of what's called the quantum vacuum, which was proven to exist back in the 50s. If you had a coffee mug, the amount of space in that coffee mug has enough potential power to boil off all the oceans of the world. That was mastered decades ago. That means that every home, business, car, manufacturing, village in Africa that would generate all the energy they need for all the needs that we have for a modern civilization. If that technology were to be disclosed, that's $2 quadrillion in proven assets, oil, gas, coal, that are obsolete. That's what they're protecting.
You know what? I just had an epiphany, man. Thinking about Dragon Ball Z and the Saiyans. That's what I want to say. That's that Saiyan here. You know what I'm saying? That purebred Saiyan here. Maybe what if mankind in the Dragon Ball Z saga were the real Saiyans, you know, because they were enslaved to their planet. They were the ultimate warrior race, and they had tails. Or maybe they were what you would call African Americans or the blacks these days. I don't know, man. Just something to think about, man, because they had tails and they did call them monkeys, and sometimes they do call us monkeys to be, you know, use it as a derogatory term, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, not saying, you know, making it about color, but I'm just saying that's something to think about, man. You know, they had the powers they would call the ultimate warrior race. And their hair grew up toward the sun. Their hair stuck up and stuck out. And they had man, I go on and on. Let me know what you think about that. All my Dragon Ball Z fans out there.
Once they figure out that you were the blessing in their life, that's when their whole world crumbles. They start feeling like they can't live without you. They lose sleep. They lose train of thought. They start messing around with other people that aren't chosen, trying to figure out if they have the same thing you have. But now that you left, you make them wonder. They're literally going insane, thinking like, wow, I really let that person go. The one that really helped me out, the one that was really blessing me, the one that was making everything easy. And now that you left, everything is crumbling. And they're sad. They miss you. They're lurking. They're watching your every move, trying to see how bad that you, how far you gonna come up in life. They sitting back thinking like, damn, I wish I never fucked up. I wish I could have another chance.
but God has removed you for a certain reason. So you have to move forward and continue to be great. Drop a comment in the comment section saying, I love Jesus Christ.
Good food and friends and bless everybody and everybody have a... No, I ain't doing that.
All right, well, something happened. Just let him keep going with it.
Yeah.
You messed up by
Take a
that.
breath in between that. Like, it's all
What?
right. Tell us what you're thankful for.
I'm thankful for all this food and good friends, and thankful for being here and everything, and we love everybody, and amen.
Kept partaking, God.
Was that pretty good?
I think that was probably one of the worst prayers I've ever heard in my life.
Well,
I think out of all the prayers I've heard, that's at the bottom.
That's at the bottom. Well, next time I'll let you do it.
All right, well, yeah. How about you doing, Cat?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not much to top around here, is it? Okay, so,
We'll get him
yeah.
started. He's
Go ahead, Cat.
He's on chill vibe today.
Fine.
Yeah.
To the other end of the table, maybe throw whatever world of
Something a little extra.
just
You
whatever
need more of a blessing.
delivering you can do, it should go down there.
Hallelujah.
Can I just pray?
Okay,
Let me pray.
I'm wrapping it
I ain't gonna lie, that's disgusting, man. I'll probably never, I'll never watch another Kevin Hart movie ever again. That just disgusted me, man. You could tell that he sold out. Man, why are you joking like that when it's time to pray? Pray over the food, man. He didn't choke on whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever he was eating. Because that's a no-no, man. I could never do that. Get the plan during prayer, man. Hey, it's like you laughing in God's face, man.
What if I told you that the television originally was designed to communicate with spirits? Right. What if I told you that the original inventor of the television admitted this? You want to talk about it? Well, you know how this goes. Hey, yo, peace. This is your man, L. Jones, coming right back at you. Spend that real talk real fast, man, hopefully. Hey, man, yeah, what I just said, man. I want you to look up the words instrumental trans communications, ITC. You can look that up. You could just say ITC, but instrumental trans communications. This is a phenomenon that occurs when people use electrical devices to communicate with spirits. Electrical devices such as radios, tape recorders, film recorders, and computers as well. The guy who invented the doggone radio or the television, that's exactly what he was trying to do. Peep game. What does a television have? What does that knob do on the television? It turns to different channels. What? Channeling spirits. Is the television not used to mediate, like the media? To intervene between the spirit of man and the spirit, between man and the spirits and the invisible spirits, and making them visible? This is what they said. They said that the television had static on it, and they said that they were able to channel spirits, and the spirit could form itself within the static, and you could hear the spirit speak, and the spirit can hear you. And anyone who knows anything about basic electronics, you know that inside of a doggone microphone is a speaker, right? So they were using that thing to talk to people first. Now here's what I'm saying. I believe they got this technology. The guy was trying to mimic something that he heard of or that he read about. Or maybe a spirit came to him and told him to invent this. Something that once existed in Tartaria. Now in Tartaria, they had a device, and it was a channeling device as well. This device, but theirs was like way more advanced. They had a device that could show you the person in 3D. Not quite like this here. You could still see through them a little bit, but nevertheless, you could see the whole person and the clothes that they were wearing. They had a device that it was set up like this here, or whatever side, and they had different types of them, but you could literally walk all the way around it. and see the person. You can communicate with them. Now, this is me. I believe they had some sort of, I believe that device had the ability to compress the air, and it was shaped in the form of whoever that person was in the spirit world. And they were able to see that person and communicate with them. But why was that important? I'm gonna say two things. One, I'm sure of this, they may have missed their loved ones, and they wanted to still be able to communicate with them. But two, is that they used them to get information, something like how we use AI. Hear me out. When you are unalived and you go on to the different realm, you shed away from this physical body. You see, the physical body, it blocks some of your information. You're not able to access all the information that you truly hold. But once you shed the physical, you now have access to all the information in existence. They were able to talk to them and get information about anything they wanted. But back then, there used to be a time when people were more honorable. I could see people misusing a device like that, so they got rid of it. But the guy who invented the television, it was in him to try to bring that thing back. And he did it to his best ability. And you've seen the movies like Poltergeist. Hell, you may have even experienced certain things. I've heard stories about people playing video games and the video game trips out on them. Hold it for a second. Yeah, excuse me, man. I eat popcorn in the morning, man. It's something real light on my stomach. But, yeah, man. They use that device to communicate with spirits. And I can see how it works. Now, here's the thing. If I get a lot of views on this damn video, because I have 2 old school televisions with the channels on them, and they won't pick up anything but static. All right. Man, if I get enough views, which I don't have to worry about, because I'm going to do it myself for me. But if I don't get enough views, because I've been meaning to do this here, but if I get enough views, I will set this thing up in front of one of those televisions, and I will clear my room out, and I will open my room up. That's a lot. When I open my room up for spirits, I will do that. And I only will do that because I know how to deal with that situation. And I will set this camera in front of the television, and I will see if I can get a doggone spirit to appear right before our eyes. I go live on this thing. But I would have to get at least 10,000. And I ain't gonna worry about it. But anyway, man, this your man, L. Judge, man. I just wanted to get that information out there, man. And remember, ITC, Instrumental Trans Communications. I'm out.
He said, I'm out, man. I ain't gonna lie, that's definitely something to make your mind wonder, make you go, yeah, I know it makes sense. But hey, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, man. Y'all don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on your way out. Like I always tell you, I'll see you in the next video. Beat me there, don't meet me there. It's your boy DONCOOZIE. I'm out. Holla.